yard hunt update. What is up, guys? Today I'm just going to walk you guys around, showing you a few things that we have added and a few things that we have changed to the yard hunt since we uploaded the full 2025 Halloween yard hunt walkthrough. If you guys haven't seen the full yard hunt walkthrough video yet, make sure you go back and watch that one before you watch this one, because all this will make a lot more sense. But we really haven't changed too much out here. We have added a few things to some scenes, and we have tinkered around with lighting and things like that. But overall, we haven't really changed much. A lot of these scenes will look the same. We've made minor tweaks to a few of them. But yeah, I just wanted to walk you guys around, show you some stuff that we've added. The first thing that we've added, and right now I'm standing in the swamp area. You can see the swamp house there, and I've also uploaded a full video on that and this whole scene. So if you haven't watched those videos, make sure you go back and watch those. But we've added a big spider on the hill behind the swamp. You guys can see this thing is pretty big. I think it's about 8 foot. Obviously it's a blow up. You guys know I try to stay away from the blow ups as much as possible, but the kids really like this scene, and the people that come really like it. And we've actually had this 2 years in a row. First year we had it, it was hanging from the house there to the ground. And then last year we moved it over here, and then we decided to put it back here this year. But like I said, I'm not really big on inflatables, but I think it is a cool little scene there with the big spider web with the big spider on it. And like I said, the people really like it, so we decided to put it back out here this year. So I'll back up and get you a street view of that. Has a really big presence back there. And honestly, now that I'm looking at it, it was kind of dark back there, and that area really needed something. So it kind of helps fill the gap there, because as you transition from the swamp shack over to the swamp house area, this section was a little bare. We did add a deep sea diver there. I've already mentioned him in the other videos. But we also needed something behind him, and that spider really fills the void well. Now, as we walk over to the bait and tackle shop area and the swamp shack area, not much has changed in this area. I don't think we've added anything, and we haven't changed anything. Something that did happen though, it was kind of unfortunate at first, and then it kind of dawned on me that it really does make sense, is I dropped this lantern. This is a fake lantern. It's a flickering lantern, but I dropped it, and the glass around it broke. So I was all bummed out at first. But then I put it out here, and it honestly made more sense because it looks kind of cool when it's broken like that. It makes it look old and dilapidated, and it really goes well with the tackle shop worker there. So that was kind of unfortunate, but then it kind of ended up working out because it kind of looks cool the way it is now. So you can see it there, it's kind of broken and dilapidated. So it really goes well with the scene that we're trying to build here. Then we come over to the swamp shack. I've also made a full video on this as well, the behind the scenes build of it. But in terms of this area, not much has changed. Still has his lantern there. The props on the porch are the same. Still has the campfire over there, weeds everywhere. So we haven't added anything. Also, I forgot the alligator there. But yeah, we haven't added anything to this scene. Something I did notice though today, and this is really cool, as the season gets later and later, as we get further into October, you know, obviously the leaves start to fall and change. So there is a ton of trees behind the shack here. And as they fall, they tend to hit the shack porch here, and it really adds to the scene. You can see there's leaves and weeds and vines everywhere. And obviously we've added the fake vines up here like they're growing around the shack. But these are actually real leaves that have fallen and real limbs that have landed on the porch here. It gives it a really authentic look. So that is what you call a free prop. It's always cool when the elements around the scene can really add to it without you having to do much to it. And as we make our way back over to the swamp witch house area, not much has changed here either. We haven't added any more props to the porch or anything like that. We still have the same witch out here. Same trees, same burlap and skull wind chime, and then the pumpkin and things like that on the porch. But something I did want to mention that I thought was really cool that I noticed today is when I originally thought of the idea for this scene, I knew I wanted a pumpkin on the porch to really keep the Halloween vibe and atmosphere alive out here. Obviously the main theme of this area is a swamp witch, but I wanted her to have a pumpkin on the porch just because it's October and it's Halloween, and I love jack-o'-lanterns. So I was looking to get one from a company called Toxic Effects. They make some really cool looking pumpkins. They have a line that is essentially what it is. It's pumpkins that look rotten. They're made out of foam. But in terms of pumpkins, that's probably the best company out there right now. They're all made of latex and foam. Super cool, very detailed. Unfortunately, I ran out of time and didn't get the order placed in time. So I had to go to plan B, which was to buy a real pumpkin and carve it and put it out here. And as it continues to sit out here in the weather and get aged, as you can see, it's not very upright anymore. It's beginning to rot in there, it's falling apart, looks very old, starting to tip over. The top is actually falling in. So this is perfect for the scene that I was going for. So instead of spending a ton of money on a latex foam pumpkin, I was able to carve a real pumpkin and let it sit out in the weather for a while, and now it is rotten and it's really fitting the scene well. So I'll back up and get you a view of that. Looks super cool sitting on the porch there, super rotten. Right beside the witch. So now I'm backed up to the street view, trying to get in the spider and the house in the shot at the same time. So there you go. And as we move over to the hospital section, not much has changed in this area. This is the checkout waiting room area. Same props there. Back being Bonnie dressed as a hospital patient. Body bag mask from Von Jekyll Art there on a dummy that is a patient in a gown. It's the same props there, nothing's changed. But this is where the big change happened in the hospital theme. When I made the hospital video originally in the walkthrough video, Miss Mercy wasn't on. But we were able to fix her neck, and now she is working. Super creepy prop, super creepy mechanism. Probably one of my favorites now that she is working. That is an insane movement there. She scares so many people, so I'm glad we got her working. Very creepy prop. Wretch is still there shaking. Hospital sign still in the middle. Convulsing nurse, original, back in the front door there. ICU and wake up dead, still in exam room 9. Another small change we made was we decided to play around with putting a strobe light onto convulsing nurse here. So originally we just had a straight red floodlight that was not strobing at all. I've been playing around with the settings on the strobe light, and I picked this strobe setting. It's a very creepy effect that it creates. You kind of see her for a second and then you don't. It makes it harder for people to get a good look at her. She's obviously a very creepy prop, but I think this lighting makes her even scarier. Let's see if I can get her going for you guys. Love that strobe light. Really makes a big difference right here. Exam room 2. Another change that was made in the original walkthrough video, I didn't have Gordo working, which is this pumpkin right here. I lost his cord, but I bought one, so now he is working. Very cool mechanism there. We still have Wrath here beside the Gerald's Hollow sign. Not a big change, but people who come love Gordo. They love his mechanism, and he gets a lot of good scares. Then we'll move over to the church funeral section. I don't believe anything at all has changed here. We still have the church in the back. Zombie in the casket here. Church attendees, funeral attendees. Zombie sitting in the back. Tombstone spread throughout. Creepy organ church music playing under the table. So yeah, I don't think anything's changed. But this is still a super cool scene. Probably one of my most favorite that we've ever built. I've also done a full breakdown video on this entire section, showing you guys the behind the scenes, and I've also shot a behind the scenes video of the church that is uploaded on the channel, so make sure you go back and watch that if you're interested. Now, something else I didn't show you guys in the original walkthrough is the across the road area. I don't consider this the main part of the yard haunt. Obviously, this is the main part of the yard haunt, which is in front of our house and to the left and right of it. So, but when you cross the road here, I have some other props as well. Just for people who are driving by, they get involved on the other side. I have Spike here. He gets a lot of people. They're not expecting him to move. So he's super cool. We walk down here. We've actually homemade this puking skeleton. I remember seeing it a few years ago. I think this guy's 3 years old now. We wrote toxic waste on the can, put a bunch of green slime on it. Looks like he's puking. We have Boogeyman. This guy's from Home Depot a few years ago. Like I said, I don't consider this part the main display because the other side of the road is the main display. But this is just good filler over here. Really fills the area, lets cars are coming this direction get involved as well. Well guys, that is going to do it for this yard haunt update. Like I said before, if you haven't went and watched the full walkthrough video yet, make sure you go back and watch it. I've also uploaded full behind the scene videos of each of these themes and sections as well. But with that being said, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next video.